Hi, let me introduce myself. My name's Ian. I come from New Zealand. I've been living and teaching here in Hong Kong for the past 10 years. My wife's a teacher and our son goes to secondary school. We love it here. Let me tell you a little bit about my career. I trained for 3 years as a primary school teacher back in New Zealand in the 1970s, so I've been teaching for a long time. After teaching in the primary service, I moved into the special education area after I graduated with a diploma in special education. Later, I forged myself a career in secondary education. I started teaching English as a second language when I moved with my family to Seoul in South Korea. I've travelled extensively throughout the world, both with my family and without it. I'm interested in the outdoors and all kinds of sports. I like playing tennis, I jog regularly, and I enjoy hiking in the hills around Hong Kong. I enjoy working with my hands. Once I built my own house. I like reading. I'm a career teacher. I'm passionate about it. What you see with me is what you get. I'm currently teaching in a local primary school full-time. I also teach 9 private students. 2 of those students are studying at university, master's degree level. One's a marketing executive, one's a secondary school student, and 5 are primary students. I know just how difficult it is for students in their busy schedules to find time to upgrade their skills or perhaps learn a foreign language. So I'm happy to be part of the iClass teaching team to deliver lessons to you at times and places of your convenience. What can you expect from me? Here's a short lesson. Everybody hates story writing or creative writing, right? Well, not everybody, but many students, parents and some adults tell me that story writing is very, very difficult. But actually it's quite easy if you follow the 5 elements of writing a good story. These 5 elements are very evident in the story Little Red Riding Hood. I'm sure you know this one. The first element of the story we call the introduction. In our story about Little Red Riding Hood, the introduction begins with Little Red Riding Hood being given a basket full of cookies to take to her grandmother on the other side of the woods. The second element of the story, of a good story, is what we call rising action. In our story, Little Red Riding Hood, she walks through the forest, meeting the big bad wolf on the way, subsequently arriving at her grandmother's house, and asking a series of questions of the big bad wolf, who's in disguise as her grandmother. What big ears you have, what big eyes you have, what big teeth you have. Leading to the third element of a good story, the climax. In our climax of this story, the big bad wolf leaps out of the bed and gobbles up Little Red Riding Hood. The fourth element of a good story is what we call the falling action. Now the falling action in this story involves a kind woodcutter who, hearing Little Red Riding Hood's screams, runs from the forest in the house and chops off the bad wolf's head, out of which pops Little Red Riding Hood and the grandmother. The final element, the fifth element of our story, is the resolution or conclusion. In our story, the grandmother, Little Red Riding Hood, and the woodcutter sit down to tea and the cookies that Red Riding Hood brought from her mother. These are the 5 elements of a good story. If you can follow them, then I'm sure you'll improve and even enjoy your story writing. Let's look at them one more time. The first element, the introduction. The second element, rising action. The third element is the climax, followed by the fourth element, falling action. And the fifth element, finally, resolution or conclusion. Try writing a story for yourself. Use these 5 elements. You can send the story to me using my email. I'll be very interested to read them and send you some comments. Bye for now, and good luck with your story writing.